any sort of words of encouragement, of wisdom, knowledge for anybody in terms of applying, not just to AstraZeneca, but anybody else in terms of the pre-work? If you want to just give we've said it all, but I just want to get you to summarise a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think do your research.
Yeah.
I think don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm literally at a careers fair and somebody will say, I've just applied for the one apprenticeship, and I'm literally twitching as I'm walking. I go, no, don't do that. Just look at your options. So it might be you're dead set on going to study a particular subject at university.
Yeah.
Fabulous. That's great. So while you're doing your university searches, just do a Google on that type. Are there apprenticeships in that area? I think don't get hung up on degree apprenticeships.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, for some of you, it will narrow your choices down, because it depends on the industry you go into and what choices there are. So there may not be a degree apprenticeship entry point.
Yeah.
Now, so you might have to go down at a lower level. But with most of them, there's an opportunity to go up. You're not going to stand still. You're not going to go in on a level 3 apprenticeship and stay there till you retire. It's kind of, there will be development. We've got a great apprentice who came in on a level 3 apprenticeship and has been here 2 years, has just been made permanent, and is now on to a degree level apprenticeship. So, and we've got loads of examples of that. The content creator apprentice in our team has just done exactly the same. And yet if they'd have said, oh no, I only want to do a degree apprenticeship, they would have missed out on the entry level into the business. So I think do your research, look at all your options, apply for everything and see what sticks. We've had people come through assessment centres and gone, oh, no, I'm going to university. And at the end of it, they've gone, actually, I want this. I didn't realise. What you don't want is somebody literally making a choice without having done the research and then finding out part of the way into the programme of, I didn't realise that you could do X and Y in a different way. So I think do that research, find out as much as you can, prepare. If you get invited to an assessment centre, speak to people that you know that have been through similar experiences. Don't be afraid to ask the question, because sometimes the language I think that businesses use about the different types of assessment can be, different companies call it different things, and it's ultimately it's the same thing. So like a capabilities interview, for example, it's just examples of when you've been in situations and you just need to describe it and talk about what you did. Whereas I don't think that's immediately obvious when somebody goes, oh, you're doing a capabilities interview. So it's doing that research beforehand about the business, about the job, about different opportunities of how you can get there. Not being narrow-minded and, looking at different options and preparing. And don't tell lies on your CV. Do not do that. Because if you're saying, I've got, I don't know, making it up now, I can speak fluent German. When you go into an assessment centre, you might be assessed by somebody who can speak fluent German, It's just that, be truthful on your CV.
Be yourself in a way, but
absolutely, yeah.
But Kim, honestly, this what you've just said there. It is wisdom speaking, and it is a lot of knowledge there. But people come in with a fixed mindset. This is what I want. This is how I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And what you find is from they don't really know that much about themselves really.
Exactly.
They haven't been on that journey of discovery. Yeah. They've got no flexibility. They're very closed in their approach.
Definitely.
They've not really spoken to many people.
No.
And they've not really done any research. If you ask them why, and you just ask them a couple of questions, you find that there's not really much depth there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key, isn't it? Really, in terms of that discovery, that it is. Getting a job like this is in a way like a full-time job. You've got to start putting a lot of effort in.
You do. It's not easy.
You're not going to win overnight. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to put the research in. You've got to talk to people. You've got to listen to podcasts. You've got to listen. You go YouTube, read about the area, and all of that will pay these dividends.
Yes. I was talking to a teacher yesterday, and there were 2 students in the session that we were doing about CVs, and they both want to go into business management. Well, to me, what do you mean by that? So I was chatting to the teacher and I said, one of them was going to apply for Ernst & Young and was getting advice and stuff, fabulous, he'd got his plan, and the other one was just kind of business management. Yeah. And so I said, what is it? And the teacher was kind of, I'm not entirely sure, but I think some kind of leadership. So I said, oh, that's interesting. I said, because he should look at our manufacturing apprenticeship, which kind of looked at me. And I said, well, it's a level 3 program, which from the sound of the way the conversations, he'd not considered. So I know they're doing their A-levels and BTECs. We don't assume, I think, with a level 3, sometimes these programs are in specialist areas that you won't have studied at school.
Yes.
So you've got to. So ours are, it's regulated environments. There's lots to learn. So I said that would be a great one. If you want to work in management and line management, that's a fantastic place to go into, because you go on your program, you're learning about the manufacture of medicines, but there's a lot of roles in that area managing other people. So you're getting the line manager. But at first thought, I think anybody out there who's thinking of a business management wouldn't think of going into a manufacturing area.
Absolutely. So really, it's not just touching the surface. You've got to delve a little bit deeper.
Yeah. Where can I get these opportunities from?
You've got to ask that. You've got to ask that question really, and it's the why question. It's the way. As you said, and it's really reaching out in many occasions. Reaching out for support, reaching out for help, talking to other people, and as a combination of all of these things, you're in a much better place, and you'll see the fact that hopefully you'll make the impact, and you'll see the challenge.
And don't let you hear now like application numbers for apprenticeships are thousands.
Very off-putting.
Don't let that put you off, because somebody has got to get those roles. So why wouldn't it be you?
Yeah. I mean, these numbers can be very off-putting, and people sometimes give up before they even start.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And it is, and the numbers are there. The numbers are there, the opportunities are there, but it's about you focusing on the things that you can control.
Yes.
And doing the research
yourself.
So, yeah, fantastic. As I said, Kim, it's always fantastic listening to yourself. It's always great hearing about the opportunities within AstraZeneca. And really appreciate you taking time out today and sharing that with us. And thank you for your support with the Multicultural Apprenticeship and Skills Alliance. You've done a fantastic amount of work for the sector itself, tremendous amount of work in terms of promoting apprenticeships per se, not just in terms of AstraZeneca, but in terms of the shift towards that. You've had a big hand in terms of the conversations. All this work that you're doing has been beneficial for UK PLC as a whole. It's not just about AstraZeneca. You've been moving the needle, pushing the agenda, and hats off to you in terms of that work. And I thank you for the bottom of our hearts, and I really appreciate everything you've done for us as an organisation, but much more importantly for the sector and for the industry. So thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Thank you, Kim.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.